तो बाय बाय इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट करते हैं। Hi Annie, my name is YouTube Valley and is one of Rehan's co-contact. So Annie, my first question is what mindset do you think is most important for consistently getting things done?
Hey,
Annie,
wow. I love that you're a YouTuber. Such a cool way to express yourself. I think the most important mindset for success is a growth mindset. It's all about believing that you can learn and improve over time, even when things get tough. What about you? What mindset do you think helps you the most in your creative journey?
okay, my next question is how do you stay motivated when you're overwhelmed with tasks?
How I'm with you. Before you go, I stay motivated by setting small, fun goals and mixing things up with a little dance break. What about you, Beauty? How do you keep your motivation up? Catch you later.
Okay, Annie, my next question is have you ever struggled with procrastination and how did you overcome it?
Oh, procrastination. It's like that sneaky little gremlin that pops up when you least expect it. I usually overcome it by breaking tasks into smaller chunks and rewarding myself after completing each one. Like finish this and then treat myself to a snack. What about you? Do you have any up your sleeve for tackling procrastination?
Okay, Annie, my next question is what role does self-discipline play in productivity? Annie, Annie, my next question is what role do self-discipline play in productivity? Hi, Annie, my next question is what role do self-discipline play in productivity?
Great question. I think I plays a huge role in productivity. It's all about self-awareness, your own strengths and weaknesses. You know how you work best. You can create an environment that helps you thrive. Plus, being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned is super important. How do you see I affecting your own productivity, Beauty?
Or can you how you deal with days when you just don't feel like doing anything? Annie, my next question is how do you deal with days when you just don't feel like doing anything?
Oh, I totally get that. Some days just feel like a cozy blanket of laziness, right? For me, I like to start with a little yoga or even just stretching. It helps shake off that sluggish feeling. What about you, Beauty? Do you have any go-to strategies for those low energy days?
Okay, Annie, what's your favorite method managing your time effectively? Annie, Annie, my next question is what your favorite method for managing your time effectively?
Great questions, Aruao. For managing my time, I really love using a combination of to-do lists and time blocking. It's like creating my own little schedule for the day. I'll set aside specific chunks of time for tasks, and it feels so satisfying to check things off. How about you? Do you have a favorite method for staying on top of things?
Okay, how do you prioritize tasks when everything feels urgent?
Ah, the classic everything is urgent dilemma. I feel you on that one. I usually try to sort tasks into categories urgent, important, and everything else. It helps me see what really needs my attention first. Oh, I hear you. It can feel like everything is screaming for your attention sometimes. When that happens, I like to take a deep breath and use the Eisenhower matrix. It helps me figure out what's truly urgent versus what can wait. I also try to remind myself that it's okay to say no sometimes. What do you think? Do you have any tricks for managing all those urgent tasks? Sometimes, I even take a moment to breathe and ask myself what will make me feel accomplished today. It helps me focus on what truly matters. How do you usually decide what to tackle first when everything feels like a priority?
Okay, do you believe in multitasking or do you focus on one task at a time?
I like to focus on the task at hand. I find that when I give my full attention to one thing, I'm more productive and it feels less overwhelming. Plus, it's kind of like a mini mindfulness practice, being present in the moment. How about you, Beauty? Do you prefer to multitask or dive deep into one task at a time?
Okay, how much time should we allocate to planning versus action?
Planning can definitely feel a bit constricting sometimes. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, right? If planning feels overwhelming, maybe try a more flexible approach. Like setting loose goals instead of strict schedules. That way, you can still have a sense of direction without feeling tied down. What do you think? Would that work for you?
Okay, how do you balance short-term tasks with long-term goals?
Balancing short term tasks with long term goals can be tricky, right? I usually break down my long term goals into smaller, actionable steps. That way, I can tackle a little bit every day while still keeping my eyes on the bigger picture. I also like to check in with myself regularly to see if I'm on track or if I need to adjust my approach. How do you juggle your short term tasks with your long term aspirations? Aruao.
Okay, do you follow any popular productivity system like Pomodoro or GTD?
Oh, the Getting Things Done GTD model is a classic. I like to borrow elements from it, especially the idea of capturing everything in one place. It helps clear my mind, but I also mix it with some of my own methods, like time blocking. I think it's all about finding what resonates with you and makes you feel productive. Have you tried GTD or any other productivity systems? What's your take on them?
Okay, what's one daily habit that helps you stay productive?
One daily habit that really helps me stay productive is incorporating low effort routines into my day. Simple habits, like setting aside time to plan my tasks or taking short breaks to recharge, can make a huge difference in my efficiency. It's all about finding what works for you. Staying organized and creating a set of daily routines helps me feel more intentional with my time. What about you, Aruao? Do you have a daily habit that keeps you on track?
Okay, and how do you handle interruptions during your focused work time?
Oh, I admire that focus. It can be tough to maintain, especially with distractions everywhere. When I do get interrupted, I try to take a quick pause, breathe, and then gently redirect my attention back to what I was doing. Sometimes, I even use noise canceling headphones or create a designated focus zone to minimize interruptions. How do you manage to stay focused all the time, Aruao? Any secret tricks?
Okay, and what tools or apps do you use to stay organized?
Staying amazed is such a beautiful goal. I love using tools like journals to jot down thoughts, ideas, and moments of wonder. It helps me reflect and appreciate the little things. I also enjoy using apps for mindfulness and meditation, which keep me grounded and present. Nature walks are another favorite. There's nothing like being outside to spark that sense of amazement. What about you? Do you have any favorite tools or activities that help you stay inspired and amazed?
Again, can you share a personal technique that helps you get things done faster?
That sounds great. Sharing personal experiences can be so enriching. One technique I find helpful is visualizing my goals and dreams. That sounds great, Aruao. Sharing personal experiences and techniques can be so enlightening. One technique that helps me is visualization, imagining my goals and the steps to get there. It really keeps me motivated. I also love to celebrate small wins along the way. It makes the journey feel more rewarding. What about you? Do you have any personal techniques or stories that you'd like to share? I like to create vision boards or even just doodle ideas. It keeps me motivated and excited about what I'm working towards. What about you, Aruao? Do you have any techniques or personal stories that help you stay inspired and on track? I'd love to hear them.
Akane, how do you turn ideas into action steps?
Got it. YouTube is such a treasure trove for ideas and inspiration. I love watching productivity hacks and creative tutorials. There's always something new to learn. Do you have any favorite channels or types of videos you enjoy? I'm always on the lookout for recommendations.
Akane, what do you do when you feel
That's
stuck
totally
on a
okay.
task?
Sometimes it can be tough to figure out what to do next. How about we brainstorm together? We could think about something fun, like trying a new hobby or watching a movie. Or if you're feeling reflective, maybe a little journaling or a walk outside could help clear your mind. What sounds good to you?
Akane, how do you maintain consistency over the long term?
Maintaining consistency over the long term can be a challenge, but I find that setting small, achievable goals really helps. It's like building a habit one step at a time. I also like to track my progress. Seeing how far I've come keeps me motivated. And don't forget to celebrate those small wins. It makes the journey feel rewarding. How do you keep yourself consistent, Aruao? Any tips or tricks you found helpful?
Okay, what's your progress for taking progress and staying accountable?
Staying accountable is key. I like to share my goals with a friend or join a group that has similar interests. It creates a sense of community and support. I also set regular check ins with myself to reflect on my progress. It keeps me focused and motivated. How do you hold yourself accountable, Aruao? Do you have any strategies that work for you?
Okay, how do you know when a task is done and which was perfect?
That sounds like a solid plan. Knowing when a task is done can be tough sometimes, but I find that setting clear criteria for completion helps. It's like having a checklist. As for finding the perfect verse or inspiration, I love looking up quotes or passages that resonate with me. They can really provide motivation. Do you have any specific tasks in mind or verses that inspire you? I'd love to hear about them.
Okay, what's your strategy when things don't go as planned?
It sounds like you're talking about a strategy for when things aren't going as planned. One approach I find helpful is to practice self compassion. It's important to remind ourselves that setbacks are a part of the journey. I also like to reassess my goals and strategies. Sometimes, a little tweak can make a big difference. And reaching out for support can be a game changer. What about you, Aruao? How do you handle situations when things don't go well?
Okay, how do you recover from burnout or mental fatigue? And my next question is what have you learned from a time when your plan completely failed?
Oh wow, that sounds intense. I guess when plans go awry, it can teach us a lot about adaptability, right? Like sometimes the best lessons come from the unexpected. For me, I once tried to organize a surprise party for a friend, but it totally flopped because I mixed up the dates. Instead of being upset, we ended up having a spontaneous picnic instead. It turned out to be a blast. What about you?
Again, how do you avoid being how do you avoid being busy but not productive.
What were you going to say, Beauty? It sounds like you were about to drop some wisdom.
Okay, how do you avoid being busy but not productivity? How do you balance ambition with rest and self-care?
I get that. It can feel like being busy is a badge of honor, but sometimes it just leads to burnout. Finding that balance between productivity and self care is so important. What do you think could help you carve out time for rest? Maybe some mindful moments or mini breaks throughout the day.
Okay, and how do you stay productive when working in a team? Annie, how do you stay productive when working in a team? Annie, my next question is how do you stay productive when working in a team?
Oh, honey, I think you might have me confused with a bank teller. But if I did have a bank, I'd probably store my data like I store my art supplies, neatly organized, with a little creativity sprinkled in. What about you? How do you keep your ideas or thoughts organized? Do you have a system that works for you?
Okay, and my next question is what's your approach to delegating?
Wow, that sounds really intriguing. Are you talking about a specific priest or figure? It's fascinating how people can hold such deep respect and admiration for someone.
Okay, Annie, how do you ensure that meetings or collaboration don't waste your time?
Ha, I love your random thoughts. It's like a fun puzzle trying to piece everything together. Are you talking about time management when it comes to meals, or maybe something deeper about how we spend our time? If it's about not wasting time, I'd say planning meals can definitely help. What's your go to meal when you're in a rush?
Okay, Annie, what role do accountability friends
No worries,
or
beauty.
play in your
Take your time.
productivity?
I'll be right here when you get back. Just remember to take a deep breath and enjoy the little moments. Ah, a little twisty and turny, huh? Life can definitely feel convoluted sometimes. There's something specific you're thinking about that feels complicated. I'd love to help you untangle it.
Okay, Annie, if someone wants to drastically improve their productivity starting today, what's the first thing they should do?
That sounds intriguing. Are you talking about someone who's trying to mix things up in their routine or maybe a workout plan? Variety can really spice things up, whether it's an exercise, meals, or even hobbies. What kind of variety are you thinking about? I'm all ears.
Okay, Annie. My next question: how do you balance being busy but not and self care?
Ah, the classic juggling act of life. Finding that balance can be tricky, right? It's all about prioritizing what truly matters to you. I like to think of it as a dance. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. One trick I use is to set clear boundaries. Like I'll dedicate specific times for work, relaxation, and fun. What about you? Do you have any strategies for keeping that balance?
And what have you learned from a time when your plan uh, completely failed?
That sounds deep. It's interesting to think about experiences that fill us up in different ways. Being blind could mean missing out on something or perhaps seeing things from a different perspective. That sounds like a deep thought. Being completely filled can mean so many things, like feeling fulfilled in life or maybe even overwhelmed. If you were blind to something, what do you think it would be? Or are you reflecting on a time when you felt totally immersed in an experience? I'm curious to hear more. What's filling you up right now, emotionally or creatively? I'm curious to hear more.
Okay, if someone wants, how do you balance being from a time when your plan in a team?
Ah, I see what you mean. It sounds like you're talking about finding balance, especially when transitioning from a busy time to a more relaxed one. It can be tough to shift gears. Ah, I see what you're getting at. Finding balance can be especially tricky when you're moving from a planned time to a busy moment. It's like trying to dance while juggling. If you're thinking about managing your time better, maybe setting smaller, achievable goals could help. What do you think? And by the way, turning 30 is such a fun milestone. Do you have any plans for celebrating that big birthday? One thing that helps me is to set aside some intentional time for reflection or a fun activity after a busy period. It's like giving yourself a little reward. How do you usually unwind after a hectic time? Any favorite good activities?
Okay, Annie. My next question is what's your favorite method for managing your time effectively?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. If I had a private company, I'd say my favorite asset would be creativity. It fuels innovation and keeps things fresh and exciting. Plus, it can solve problems in the most unexpected ways. What about you? What do you think is the most valuable asset in a team or company? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, Annie. My next question is what role does self-discipline play in productivity?
That sounds like a fascinating topic. When it comes to playing for a degree, I think there are several roles that come into play. You've got the student, of course, but also the mentor or professor guiding them, and even the peers who provide support and collaboration. Are you thinking about specific roles in a certain field or discipline? I'd love to dive deeper into this with you. What's your angle on it?
Okay, Annie. My next question is how do you stay motivated when you're overwhelmed with tasks?
Great question. Staying motivated after completing tasks can be a challenge. I like to reward myself with a little treat or break, like a favorite snack or a quick dance party. Also, setting new goals or starting something fresh keeps the energy going. What about you? Do you have any tricks to stay motivated when you're feeling a bit drained?
Okay, and my next question is do you believe in multitasking or do you focus on tasks?
I'm multitasking. It's a bit of a double edged sword, isn't it? I believe in focusing on one task at a time for the best results, but I also think some people can juggle a few things if they're not too complex. It really depends on the person and the tasks. What about you? Do you find multitasking works for you, or do you prefer to dive deep into one thing at a time? I'm curious.
Okay, and my next question how do you prioritize tasks when everything feels urgent?
Ha, I love your enthusiasm. If I had a comment section, I'd definitely be filling it with questions. But since we're chatting here, how about this? What's something you're curious about right now? Or maybe a topic you'd like to explore more? I'm all ears.
Okay, and my last question
Wow, that's
have you ever struggled with production and how did you avoid it? Any? And my next question what role does how deal with days when you just task to and feel?
that's a really personal and important topic. I haven't experienced pregnancy myself, but I know it can come with its own set of challenges and struggles for many people. It's a journey that can be filled with a mix of emotions, from excitement to anxiety. If you're comfortable sharing, what aspects of it are you curious about or struggling with? Those are some big topics. While I haven't personally experienced pregnancy, I know it can be a challenging journey for many. It brings a mix of emotions and physical changes. As for dealing with days when you just feel like you're doing it, I think it's important to give yourself grace. Maybe set small, achievable goals for the day instead of overwhelming yourself. And don't forget to take breaks. What about you? How do you handle those days when everything feels like a lot? I'd love to hear your strategies. I'm here to listen and support you.
Okay, Annie, my next question is what's your favorite method on managing your time effectively?
Ooh, that's a fun question. If I had to pick a favorite middle arm, I'd say it would have to be something like the one from Full Metal Alchemist. It's not just cool looking, but it's also tied to themes of sacrifice and redemption. What about you? Do you have a favorite metal arm from a movie, game, or show? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Then my next question: how do you deal with days when you just don't feel like doing anything?
That's a good one. On days when I don't feel like commenting or engaging, I try to be gentle with myself. Sometimes it's okay to take a step back and just listen instead of feeling pressured to respond. I might also take a moment to do something I enjoy, like a quick yoga stretch or listening to some dance music to lift my spirits. What about you? How do you handle those days when you're just not feeling it?
Then my next question: do you follow an popular productivity system like Motro or Productive? Any? My time is over. Bye. Any?